Hi guys, a very warm welcome. And in this video, we are going to understand about how we can work on the Lambda or the AWS Lambda. So you can see I have logged in into the AWS account in the Oregon region. You can search for the Lambda service and just click on it. So Lambda is a serverless computing. It is primarily used for running the application or the codes without creating a server. Unlike in the case of an EC2 instance, there we used to create an instance and then we used to host our application, but that is not required in the case of Lambda. In the Lambda, in the backend, AWS is going to manage everything. What you need to do is you just have to focus on building up your application or writing up your code. So how we can work on the Lambda is we need to create a function in the Lambda. Let's wait for the dashboard to appear. So here that in the AWS Lambda dashboard, there is a one function that is available, and you can see that function also. So when you click on the functions, you would find that my AWS Learning created few months back. So what you need to do is how you can create your own function in the Lambda is you just have to click on dashboard, click on create a function, and then you need to specify some details while creating a function. Do you want the function to be created from scratch? You have to select everything. Otherwise, you can use a blueprint. You can use a container image also, and from there you can create a function. So I'm going to create a new fresh function using author from scratch, and I'll put the name of the function something like, let's say, hello world. The runtime environment, you can select any environment on you're going to write your code. Let's say you can select Java, Node.js. If your code is written in Python, you can select Python also. It is up to you. So let's say I select Python 3.10. Architecture, you can specify anything. And in the IAM role, you have to create a new role with the basic Lambda permissions. And then I'm going to show, after this demo, I'm going to show you another demo also where you can link your Lambda function with uh, the other AWS services. Then we'll see how we can create our own IAM role as well. So click on create a function. You would find that a hello world function will be created with a sample Python code with the Python file uploaded on this function. Let's wait for it. You can see the hello world function has been created. Now this function is a compute driven function. I'm not going to add an event that is going to function. So it is just a compute driven function where you can see there is a file that is lambda underscore function.py file has been created and a sample hello world or hello from lambda code is specified. Now we are going to test this code whether it is correct. Does lambda execute this code or not? So just click on test, create a test event, provide a name to it. Let's say I put something like hello lambda and click on save. And afterwards, select your event and execute it. So it is executing the code. It has taken around 1.22 milliseconds to get this code running. And we got an output, hello lambda, the print output. How much billing that has happened? The bill duration is 2 milliseconds. So as we discussed in the theory class, in the Lambda, the good thing is that we can keep our code inside the function, but the billing would only happen whenever the code gets executed. Thus, for the bill duration is going to be 2 milliseconds, as we know that in the Lambda, the sub-second billing happens. Now, in the next demo for Lambda, I'm going to show you how you can use the Lambda as an event-driven functionality. And the scenario is going to be, let's say I have a couple of EC2 instances and I want to start and stop those EC2 instances at a regular interval of time in a day. And I want to automate this environment. So how we can achieve that? I would create a Lambda function for that. And as a trigger for that Lambda function, I'm going to add an event. I'm going to create a time-based event. Whenever the time-based event occurs, the Lambda function will be executed and it is going to instruct the EC2 instance to start or stop based on the event. Let me explain you in the diagram form and then we are going to achieve it. So what we are going to achieve here is, let's say here is one EC2 instance and we want on a regular intervals, it should be stopped and it should be restarted again. And how we can automate this kind of a work. So what we'll do, we'll create a Lambda function. So ideally we require two Lambda function, one for starting the EC2 instance and the other one for stopping the EC2 instance. So I'll just show you how to stop this running EC2 instance. So let's say I create a Lambda function and I name this function as stop function, for example. And obviously I'm going to add a code or upload a code on this function based on Python or any language that would instruct the EC2 instance to stop. So this code would have an action where the Lambda is going to instruct the EC2 instance to stop. But who is going to trigger this function? And for that, we'll add an event. And this event can be created from an AWS service, that is an event bridge service. So from an event bridge service, an event will be initiated, it will be targeted towards the Lambda function acting as a trigger. And then once the trigger executes the Lambda function, this code will be executed and the Lambda function is going to instruct the EC2 instance to stop. You would find that this running instance will be stopped automatically. What we need to ensure is that this Lambda function should have the permission to call the EC2 instance. And for that, we would require an IAM role to be created and attach it to the Lambda function. So that's what we are going to achieve. Let's look into how we can work on it. For stopping and starting the EC2 instances at regular interval of time. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to go to the EC2 dashboard. And here I would create one dummy EC2 instance. It could be any instance, Linux instance or Windows instance. So we'll quickly create one EC2 instance. See that I have created one dummy demo instance and it is in a running state. And we'll try to stop this instance automatically using the Lambda function. So I'll go to the Lambda function and before creating a function, we need to create an IAM role so that we can assign the permissions of the role to the Lambda function that we are going to create. So I'll just move to the IAM section also. And there I'm going to create a new role. So let's open up the link in new tab for IAM. Let's wait for it. So first of all, I'll create a policy and then we'll attach that policy to the role. And the policy, you can find it here. You just have to copy paste it. Now, what does this policy provides? It provides the permissions to only start or stop the instances. That's it. So it's a custom IAM role and the policies that we are going to create because we want to give the Lambda function only the option to start and stop the instance. All right. So I'll just click on create a policy and in the JSON format, I'm going to add a new policy. Remove this one, paste the other one, put the policy name. Let's say I put something like Lambda EC2 stop policy. Click on create a policy. And this policy is created. Now I'm going to create a role and attach that policy to the role. So we'll just move to the roles, create a new role. Which service we are going to create a role? We are going to create a role for Lambda. So we'll select allow Lambda function to call AWS services on your behalf. And then here we'll just select the policy that we have created, EC2 stop. Let's search for it. Here it is. Click on next and assign the role name. Let's say I put something like Lambda access EC2. Click on create. So this role is created. Now I'm going to create a new function in the Lambda as author from scratch. Put a name to the function. Let's say I put something like stop EC2 function. Runtime is going to be Python. We can go with Python 3.10. And in the chain default execution role, I am going to select use an existing IAM role and look for the role that we have created just now. We just have to refresh it. The name. Yeah, this is the one. And click on create a function. Now the role is assigned to the Lambda function. It has the permissions to access or to call the EC2 instance for starting and stopping. Underscore function.py file. So what we need to do, we have to edit the code, get it from the document, copy it, and paste it to the Lambda function. Now we need to make some changes in the code. First of all, we need to look into the region. It is for US West 1. So we are in Oregon. Oregon is, let's wait for the name. It is US West 2. So I'm just going to make the change to US West 2. And in the instance ID, which instance ID we want to stop from this function, we are going to update it. So our instance ID is this one. Edit that in the Lambda function. Now the action is to stop the EC2 instance. That's it. We are just going to deploy the code, and afterwards we are going to add a trigger for this function and the code to execute. Let's wait for the function to have the code deployed. Now the code is deployed to the function, and to add a trigger, I can add a trigger from here also. I can select an event bridge service from here. Otherwise, I'll just move to the event bridge service in a separate console, in a separate tab. Let's wait for it. So that's what the Amazon event bridge is. Earlier it was in the CloudWatch events service only, but now it has been separated as an Amazon event bridge service. And here I'm going to create a simple schedule. After every 5 minutes interval, the request would be sent to, or trigger would be sent to the Lambda function, and the instance will be stopped. So we just want to see it one time activity only. This is the event bridge dashboard. I'm just going to select the event bridge schedule, click on create a schedule name. Let's say I put something like Lambda trigger, and it's a one-time schedule, let's say. Or I can put a recurring schedule also. Let's say I can create a cron job or rate-based schedule after every 5 minutes. All right. The rest of the things we'll keep it default, off within 15 minutes. We just keep it off. So the target of this event schedule is going to be the AWS Lambda, and we are going to select the function that is going to be the stop EC2 function, and click on next. Rest of the things we'll keep it default, and click on next. Create a schedule. So once this event schedule is created, we'll just move to the EC2 instance, and we'll see that this instance will be stopped after the Lambda function is triggered. So let's wait for it. See, the event has triggered the Lambda function, and it has automatically stopping the EC2 instance. Similarly, you can create another Lambda function to start the EC2 instance, guys. So that is how you can work on the Lambda as a compute driven, as an event driven functionality. You can have a lot of case studies on the AWS documentation where you can use Lambda for various several solutions. Thanks for watching this video, guys.